few months ago, I gave myself a hernia. A hernia is essentially a tear in your abdominal wall and part of your insides poked through under the skin. So yeah, lovely image there for you. It happened as I was at the end of a gym session and I overdid it on an ab wall rollout, which is made even more stupid considering I know that this is an exercise that I struggle with. I went home and thought I'd only overstretched something because I didn't have the telltale lump that a hernia comes with. But after a few days, it was clear that this was more than a strain, and actually, eventually, I could spot a slight lump that wasn't there before. There are broadly 6 common types of hernia. The type that I have is an inguinal hernia. And based on the questions that have come my way since I mentioned that I have a hernia, I wanted to walk you through what I'm doing to continue my training. And actually on that point, the first question probably worth asking is, can you still train? Should you stop exercising because you have a hernia? To which my answer would be no, but be intelligent about it. Hernias affect people in a range of different severities. My hernia prevents me from taking my core through a full range of motion, but I can still brace my core. So I can still handstand, but I'm not going to be doing any leg raises in a hurry. And my journey of teaching myself to front lever is 100% off the table until I get this hernia fixed. But whenever we get injured, there will be things that we can do to keep training and moving. And fundamentally, moving more is how we're going to stay healthy overall. But we'll also need to ensure that we stay well within the realms of comfort when we are injured, at least for the short term. I'd put it this way, if you had a broken arm, you wouldn't rush to play tennis, but you wouldn't sit in a wheelchair just in case either. Understanding the middle ground between these 2 points is key, and for hernias at least, pain is your friend. We should never train through pain, and so getting a good understanding of what we can do without wincing is going to be a decent benchmark for establishing what is safe to do. For example, I'm still able to do a lot of the exercises that I enjoy doing, I just have to do them at a lower intensity. I can do pull-ups, but I can't do anywhere near my max weighted pull-ups because that would require me to brace my core more than I am able to do. I can do push-ups, which surprises me given that it's a similar body position to the ab wall rollout that caused this in the first place. But again, I think intensity is the important thing here. And while I've been able to continue training lower intensity movements that I feel will at least help me maintain my strength level, rather than focus on what I can't do, I'm trying to focus on what I can and divert my attention to things that historically I haven't been able to give my best energy to, and in my case, that is mobility. Middle splits has been a goal of mine that I've been speaking about here for nearly 2 years now, but until April, talk was all it was. And yet this hernia has given me the silver lining to work on this in earnest, allowing me to see progress that I didn't believe I was capable of, all because I'm focusing my best energy on it. Now you may be asking, if I can do all of this, is it worth even fixing a hernia? I'm not rolling on the floor in pain, I can still walk, I can still train to some degree. Could I just live with this? Well, the only way to get a hernia repaired is through an operation. And there will be many out there that simply go about their business despite knowing that they have a hernia. For me though, this is not an option given the goals I have for this channel, but more so because it is fine now doesn't mean it will always be fine. Every day since getting this hernia, I've noticed slight differences in how I just go about my day-to-day business. Getting up from a deep chair requires me to now use my hands. I have to think really hard now about how I bend down to pick something up so that I'm not in pain. Compounded over months and years, these compensations will influence our posture and our movement and our willingness to move. And I don't want this to be me. Add this to the problem that hernias tend to get bigger over time and we could just be making the problem worse. So I would definitely recommend having a medical professional take a look at your situation and start planning a route to a permanent fix. I think generally looking at injuries as an opportunity to strengthen other parts of our body will only be beneficial for when we come back, and if that is our approach, our long-term outlook, which is the only outlook really that matters, will be a good one.